2021 was a big year for us.
A very big year.
Some would even say a little bit too big.
Or some would say maybe a little overwhelming.
Yeah, I would go with that one.
Last year was filled with a lot of firsts for us and a lot of new beginnings for us. Alright, get back on the screen.
Let's go do a recap of what we accomplished in 2021. Alright, the first thing we accomplished in 2021 was getting our Livestock Guardian Dog, Milo, who is a Great Pyrenees. We knew we eventually wanted a Great Pyrenees in our home. We just weren't sure when it was going to be possible, and Tom surprised me and said yes, we could get a puppy. I was completely shocked because at the time we were planning on looking for a home and I was pregnant and it was just crazy timing. But he was like, sure, let's go ahead, let's get it done with and get a puppy. So we went on the search, we found Mr. Milo, and we completely fell in love. And we are so happy that we were able to bring him home, and he is now a part of our crazy family.
The next achievement we were able to have success with here in 2021 was I finally graduated my school program. It was a long process after going through getting 4 years of a college degree, not really knowing exactly what I wanted to do with that. So I found a trade of being a cardiovascular technician, which I work in a cath lab. After doing about 2 years of schooling and on top of working 40 hours, going to school, coming home with the kids, there was a lot of stress within me having to do all that schooling, but also putting that on Chelsea while I had to get that all done. And finally being able to be in that job and settle down in is something to cherish and make sure that you don't take it for granted. I'm very happy that I am settled into a job that I actually truly do love. That was definitely a big accomplishment.
We had a feeling 2021 was going to be a very big year for us, so we decided we were going to start documenting it.
Yes, we did. One of the big accomplishments though of our YouTube channel was we actually recently tried to do this back about maybe 2 years ago, and it failed because of other outside distractions, and we just kind of decided that it wasn't for us and scrapped it. But we went back and tried it again this year, and our goal was that we were going to consistently make videos and at least try it for a year, and we're about 7 months in now and have not stopped. So that is a big pat on the back for us.
We stayed consistent.
And you guys have stayed consistently watching, so thank you, and please feel free to subscribe if you are not already.
One of the most special things that came out of 2021 was our little boy Theo, who we were able to have at home. I have been dreaming of a home birth for a long time. It is something that I have seen and I just never thought was possible for me, but it's something that definitely I was longing in my heart. We were so blessed to be able to find our midwife who perfectly aligned with our family and our values, and just learn everything that she had to offer, whether it was related to our pregnancy or just our general health. It was such an awesome experience and such a wonderful learning opportunity, and I will forever cherish our experience of having our baby boy Theo at home. It was such a special memory.
One of the next big things in 2021 was we officially became first-time homeowners.
Finally, we thought it was never gonna happen.
And it almost didn't. It was during the weirdest market that out there, supposedly, in the longest time ever. We had to put down, how many offers was it?
A lot, like 5 or more, I would say.
After going to have to see those houses and go about an hour and a half out each time and only being able to do it on the weekends, it was like zoom, 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 get 6 houses to view in during that weekend if we could, then try to find which one we had to put an offer on, because we had to put an offer on instantly because that was how they were selling these houses during this market.
You had 15 minutes to look at the house and you had to have your offer in the next day, or else it was gone and you were out of luck.
Hey, at least it wasn't no big decision in or anything, right? Just buying a house.
I mean, what could go wrong? But here we are. We bought the house. We got it. It had everything we were looking for, and we got the keys.
And as Chelsea said, it had everything we wanted. One of the big things we wanted when we looked for our house was acreage and some land, and we were lucky enough to get a couple acres, hence our name that we decided to go with, Acres of Adventure. And we couldn't be more happy. We thought it was something that we were going to have to settle on, so that's a big accomplishment in itself, because after a while we decided that, hey, we might have to lose wanting the land, but we were able to get it.
Wait a second. He decided that we were going to lose the land. He was willing to go to just a normal subdivision. I wanted at least half an acre still. I'm glad that I kept strong with that, or else we might not have found this place.
So that was a big accomplishment. And that leads us into our next big accomplishment would be moving out to the country. We moved to the country. We moved to the country. We moved to the country.
Well, the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know, country, middle of nowhere, same thing, right?
We knew we were moving to a small town, but we weren't exactly sure how small.
This is a life that we wanted to pursue. We wanted to be able to start a homestead, and you really can't start a homestead unless you find that home that you would want to be. And we had to find the area and the land, like we said previously with the house, and we felt like this area will give us our best bet and more connections and people that have the same kind of like-minded around us, and it'll help us really pursue in our homestead journey and build our community when we start wanting to make it into a business.
Moving out to the country means that we are about an hour and a half away from our family and friends, which means that we really had to learn to rely completely on our little family here. We did not have the convenience of calling our moms or dads or friends when we needed them. We really had to learn and be prepared for ourselves. Our next accomplishment in 2021 was that we started home renovations.
And although some people may not think that might be the biggest thing, it is. When Chelsea can vouch for this. I don't have much experience in much hands-on stuff before this.
Yes. It was a huge thing for us to decide that we were going to tackle our renovations ourselves. One, it was in our budget, so that's why we did it. And two, because we want to start learning how to do things ourselves. So it has been an awesome achievement for both of us, for me to be able to plan everything and for him to be able to learn everything. So it has been a huge thing for us to actually see it and then it come into fruition.
And I would say for anyone out there that has been thinking about something like and they are afraid to attempt something like that, that is something that definitely I was not all 100% into, but I did like the idea of it, and you just got better over time for doing it. Any kind of project I first started doing, I definitely didn't know what I was doing. It took me longer than I expected each time, but the more and more I did it, the more I felt comfortable with it, and I would definitely say that it is one of the biggest surprises for me this year, for myself. It is something that can be done even if you don't have the most experience. So,
ladies, never give up on your hope of your man. The next thing that was huge for our family this year in 2021 was that we locked down the decision to homeschool our children. With everything going on in the world, we had so many thoughts and decisions of what we wanted to do going forward, and we have decided that homeschooling is what we want to do.
Next accomplishment we were able to get done in 2021, and I am very thankful for this one. After living into an apartment for about the last 4 to 5 years with me and Chelsea as our family's been growing, we finally got a house. But as much as that meant for our family growing, it meant the world for our dogs, because we've been dreaming of them having a big yard to be able to play with. The one big thing though is we moved in here and they did not have a fence. So our next big accomplishment we got done in 2021 was we built a fence for our pups. And as much as it's been great for the kids to run around and play back here and know that they're safe behind the fence and they aren't getting into too much trouble, it's been awesome to see the dogs running around playing, having all this yard, especially for Bailey, our Wheaten Terrier. We've had her for about 5 years now, and she's always been in the apartment, never really had her own yard, and it has been awesome to see them running around just like they're supposed to be, in the middle of nature, enjoying it, sprinting, playing, and they have all that room in the world now. So it has definitely been one of the things that we wish when we had our house. This fencing idea was cheap. There's fences out there that are super expensive, but it got the job done for what we need, and I was able to actually all put it up in about a day. So if there's an idea that you ever want to get done, don't just kick yourself down because of a certain cost. Look into the different options that you have, and I was able to put this together, like I said, in one day, and it's fairly cheap. That one was definitely a big success here in 2021. And number 10, our last big success of this year, coming in October, when been thinking about our homestead, we've been thinking about the things that we're gonna need and to start building it. So we got the Livestock Guardian Dog, but we were missing something. So we finally made it official and we became backyard chicken farmers. We went out on October I was a little hesitant to do it because I don't know what we were doing, but we bought baby chicks after looking at a few places, and we didn't really have the right coop that we wanted, and all these things that we were juggling about what to do. But we went out, we bought the chicks, we got a used coop that we aren't the happiest about, but it's gonna get the job done for right now. We'll just have to make sure we can build a better coop for them soon. But not with that much knowledge, we did a lot of research, looked up what we need to do for them, what we need to buy, the things they're gonna need. Went ahead and just made the purchase because we knew this is something that we were gonna want for our homestead. We're gonna want farm fresh eggs for our family, as long with maybe to give out to other people and to sell. So it was one of the first steps that we wanted to do to start building this. And it feels amazing to have these guys around. It's been awesome. The girls have loved them. They've been holding them. They grab them, they play with them, they feed them. So we're really hoping that teaches them that love and care, and showing them the circle of life as well, showing them that when we take care of them, they're gonna supply us with eggs. After a while, they'll probably supply us with meat. But we wanna get that understanding to them, that circle of life, and that all things happen for a reason, and there's purposes for all these animals here on this earth. It's been awesome to put these chickens into our life and try to establish a grounds with them and figure out what we need to do with them. That was definitely a big success for us. We have 10 hens. They're all surviving right now, so we're doing an okay job for what we think.
2021 is probably the biggest year that we will ever have in our lifetime, but we have big plans for 2022.
So stay tuned. Our next video that we will be posting for you guys will be our goals for 2022.
We'll see you in the next one.
See you guys later. Don't forget, thumbs up, like, subscribe. She doesn't like when I say that.
I really don't.
But do it please.